Hi, the Kessler Science 5e lessons have been upgraded recently to allow students to work from a remote location. And what this means is the station labs can now be done from students anywhere that they have access to a device. And they can actually go through the 5e explanation piece, which is the PowerPoint, and work through that interactively from a remote location as well. So if you're in a distance learning situation, this is going to be great. This video is going to show you where to find those resources. You're going to want to first search to see if the topic you're looking for has been upgraded to distance learning versions. To do that, you're going to do a quick Google search for Kessler Distance Learning Tracker. And that's going to bring you to this page right here. It should be their first result that comes back. Make sure you're spelling Kessler with one S. And this lets you know all of the products that we've updated over the summer of 2020. We've got the 5e lessons here, and then the station labs are down here. By the time you're watching this video, hopefully most of these will be updated, but they will be updated very shortly. So if you have determined that your topic that you're looking for does in fact have a distance learning version, then the next step is you're going to want to find it on the dashboard. I'm going to click back to the dashboard, and now we're going to go look at a topic that I know has already been updated to show you where to find all these files. So balanced and unbalanced forces, I'm in the force and motion 5e bundle, and I'm going to scroll up, and you're going to see a lot of files. Now, the reason that so many files exist is because we've given you so many options to choose what works best in your situation. We've numbered them 1 to 5 based on where they fall within the 5e method. If it's labeled a 1, that's going to be the first portion of the 5e method or the engagement piece. If it's labeled a 2, that's the exploration piece or the station lab piece, and so forth. Remember, I said that we've upgraded 2 main things here. We've upgraded the station labs to be distance learning friendly, and we've upgraded the explanation PowerPoint. So how do you determine what's been upgraded? If it has, I'm looking now at the exploration piece, and if it has a V2 after it, that means it is version 2 and it is the distance learning friendly version. Okay, now there's 4 files that you'll see here. Well, which one do I use? So these first 2 files are if you were to do this in the classroom. If you still wanted to have a paper version of the product and do it within the classroom, just like you've done the station labs in the past, you would choose this. One is just a download, it's just a PowerPoint, and the other is a PDF of that same. So it just depends on what file format you want, but it's the exact same thing. So you can see that on this file, it has all your teacher directions. It has all the cards that you can and print and use around your room, set up the stations like in a traditional station lab. This also has student answer documents, as well as this is the brand new streamlined version that has all the improvements that we've added, as well as a teacher answer key at the end. So you pick one of those 2 files. If you want to send your students a file, then you're going to choose either the on-level version or the modified. The modified is denoted with an M here, and you'll download that. It is a PowerPoint file, and then you can use that however you normally would send your students files for distance learning. So if you're in, let's say you're in Microsoft Teams, you could upload this PowerPoint to your classroom, and students would access it from there. If you're a Google Classroom user, what you would do is open the file within Google Slides and then save it as a slides file so that your students can manipulate the activity there. Now, the on-level version is just the one above it here. So you've got 2 different versions. So each student is going to have their own file to work from. So as long as it has a V2 after it, that's the one that you want to be using for the station lab. Now let's go look down here at the explanation piece. So the explanation piece also has multiple files depending on your situation. In this case, this is the regular PowerPoint file with no distance learning. So it's just labeled balanced and unbalanced PowerPoint. If you want to send an on-level version to your students where they can actually interact with the PowerPoint itself, then it's labeled Single Student with Digital Interactive Notebook. It now includes a digital interactive notebook. They can manipulate a bunch of the pieces within the PowerPoint itself and then submit it back to you for review. And again, we've also included a modified version of that, and that's just the Single Student with Digital IMB Modified. So you have to choose one of these 3 files to use with your class. Down here, we've actually got answer keys or suggested answer keys for those as well. So although it appears that there are a lot of different files here, there is a reason for this, and that is to ensure that you're able to use the resources in the way that works best for you and your students. So just kind of a recap, if it's got version 2 on the Station Lab, then that's ready to go. That's the digital version. That can be a distance learning version that can be used by your students. And then you'll have to choose either one of these 2 files if you want to use a distance learning version for the 5E lesson. If that does not exist in the topic that you're looking at, so for example, I don't believe that we've updated, for example, we haven't put up the Station Lab for motion graphing yet, you won't see the V2 here for the Station Lab. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out at chris@kesslerscience.com. Take care.